Hello, I'm Janet Noak.
And I'm Andrea Dillon.
And we are with CPAs of Florida, and we are here today with Peacevision, and we're going to talk about the deadline changes at the IRS so you can get some comfort with when you need to file your taxes and when you need to pay your payments. So Andrea, I'm going to start today with talking about what deadlines have actually changed. So first of all, I think most people are aware that the April 15th filing deadline for 2019 tax returns has been moved to July 15th of 2020. So I want to be specific about what that means. That means that you can file your return without an extension on July 15th and you will be considered timely filing. You can also pay your bill, so if you owe taxes, you can pay that on July 15th and that will be considered timely filing. However, I do want to mention that if you owed tax on April 15th, there still will be penalties and interest until April 15th. What will be suspended is the penalties and interest from April 15th to July 15th of 2020. So don't think that they're waiving all of the penalties and interest, just the ones for that period. So the second thing I do want to talk about before I get to you is the estimated payments that are due for the 2020 tax year. Typically, your first estimated payment is due April 15th, and your second estimated payment is due June 15th. And if you actually, when they first passed this, they forgot to extend the June 15th payment, but now both the April 15th and the June 15th payment have been extended to July 15th of 2020. So once again, if you file and pay your estimates by July 15th of 2020 for quarter one and quarter two, you will be considered timely. So Andrea, do you want to talk about collections?
Absolutely. So the other really important thing is that collections has officially been suspended until July 15th, 2020 as well. So not so much in relating to your 2019 taxes, more so I'm talking bigger picture. You have back tax balances that you're either currently in arrangements to deal with, or you have been delaying making your arrangements to deal with, but you owe some money. So one of two things has happened because collections has been suspended until July 15th. So you were probably receiving a lot of IRS notices, lovely little letters reminding you that you still owe them, and chances are those have probably dropped off. So if you were accustomed to receiving a lot of them and you're wondering what the heck is going on and how come you haven't been receiving them, that's why. It's because legally they can't collect now until July 15th. Now the other scenario that could be happening is you might still be receiving some letters, and that's because they're already queued in their system to go out, and because the IRS is not completely, but a lot of their departments have been shut down since early March. That's because if they're queued in their system to go out already, there's actually nobody there to stop them. So some of them are still going out. So just beware that if you have a back tax balance, you do not need to do anything because they're not allowed to do anything until July 15th. Now, what about if you are currently in a payment plan? If you are making the payments yourself, so whether you write a check or you go online and you do it at irs.gov through their e-pay systems, if you are making those payments not voluntarily through your system, but you're choosing to go in and make them each month, you do not have to do that anymore. Effective in April through July 15th, those payments are also suspended. You are allowed to stop making those payments with no penalty and no issue, and then resume them again after July 15th, and they will not terminate your installment agreement. So if your payment is due the 7th of the month, that means that July 7th, that one would not need to be paid because July 15th is when that hold expires, so to speak. And August 7th, the next payment due date, you can resume making your payments with no issue. Now, if your payment is due the 24th of the month, that means July 15th, when that hold expires, you need to make your July payment, the July 24th payment, and then continue on, and all should be fine. Now, what about when you are not voluntarily making it and the IRS is going in and they're hitting your bank account every month? So you don't do anything, they just go in and they take it. We are actually hearing two things from clients. So what the IRS has released is, again, because there's nobody there to actually physically hit that stop button, they are still making those payments. However, you're not required to do it. So the IRS has issued guidance saying, please reach out to your bank, whoever it is you bank with, and stop that payment. And then once everything is all said and done, you go back to your bank and you resume it. No harm, no foul. However, we're hearing feedback from clients, keeping in mind this is April that we're speaking today, so this is the first month this is in effect. We've heard from one client who has a Social Security garnishment and another client who has a direct where they just go in and they take it. Both are saying they didn't need to do anything and it just didn't hit. So again, IRS says you have to take the action, go in and stop the payment at your bank, but just be advised that it's possible it just might not hit, and then you need to resume it when July 15th has passed.
Andrea, one of the things that we are anticipating seeing is that people had a great year in 2019, and that in 2020 they've had to use up all of their rainy day fund to live because of the COVID-19 situation. So all of the money that they've saved to pay their taxes, all of a sudden they don't have it, and they're going to be in a place that they don't have the reserves to pay their tax bill. I know that your specialty is tax resolution for people who have tax issues and back taxes. Is this something that you could help them with?
Absolutely. And first and foremost, my heart truly breaks when I hear that you're trying to save for your taxes, you're doing the right things, and then something like this happens that nobody could have possibly planned for. You've got that money set aside. Of course, if you need to put food on your table or pay your bills, you're going to have to use that money. So just be forewarned, again, collections is on hold until July 15th. But after July 15th rolls around, and even October 15th, so if you extend your taxes because you know you need a few more months to come up with the balance due, and you just can't because your situation has so drastically changed. I think everybody has been affected in some way, shape, or form by this. All of the normal collection options will be available to you. So whether you need to do a payment plan to pay it out over a couple years, whether you need to do an income-based payment plan, which again is going to be based off your current income today. So if you need to do an income-based plan, it won't be off your 2019 income, which might have been a little bit stronger. It'll be a snapshot of where am I at today. Or, of course, if there's stronger actions that need to be taken about doing an offer to try to negotiate that balance down or trying to get some of the penalties gone. All of those options will be on the table. Really, it's going to be a case-by-case basis since everybody is so differently affected by this and what the lasting effect is going to be to you. So don't freak out if you can't pay that bill. The longer you ignore it, the worse it's going to get. So whatever your remedy is going to be, whether you reach out to someone like us to help you or you handle it yourself, don't ignore it. There's options available to you, and you'll get through it.
Andrea, thanks so much for sharing your expertise on that. I know that Certified Tax Resolution Specialist designation is going to be very valuable in the coming months. So thank you for sharing that. I think we're ready to close. If you want to reach out to us, I'm Janet Note.
And I'm Andrea Dillon.
And we're with CPAs of Florida, and we're here today at Peacevision. Thank you for having us.